Welcome everybody to my channel, and this is a very unique comic to talk about and review. This is The Brave and the Bold issue 25, also known as the first appearance of the team named the Suicide Squad. Yes, this is by DC Comics, but no, there are no supervillains being used in here, but the members of the team are put in future well-known Suicide Squad stories. This issue has a cover date of September 1959, with an actual release date of August 26th, 1959. The story is titled The Three Waves of Doom. It is written by Robert Kingshire, penciled by Ross Andru, and inked by Mike Esposito. The cover shows the squad shooting at a giant animal claw coming out of what looks like an ice mountain. The whole story opens up with a giant red wave washing upon a seaside shore, and when it hits the land, the water is so hot it turns the sand into glass. Firefighters and bombers carrying foam can't put the wave out because it reheats too quickly. The red wave keeps growing, burning down everything in its way. When all other options are exhausted, the military commander puts in a call to their new team, the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad, led by Rick Flag, goes to the location of the red wave. In their plane, which is a flying laboratory, their plan is to blast air pressure out of their plane's tail, hitting the wave with absolute zero to stop it. The danger is if they get too close, the plane may get burnt up, but Rick Flag is able to do it, stopping the red wave's growth. Saving the day. We get origins of the four members of the Suicide Squad in here and why they do what they do. The first one is obviously Rick Flag, the most well-known one. One time Rick Flag was the youngest member of his squadron and they attacked a flat top. His whole crew took the risk instead of him so he wouldn't be in danger, with him being the youngest one there. The enemy had a smoke screen, so everyone dived into TNT without realizing it. Rick Flag was the last one alive, only one alive. He then dives into the fog with his plane and launches a missile at the enemy, destroying the enemy flat top and being the only one left alive. The second member is named Karen Grace. She is a medical nurse, and during wartime her ambulance plane crashed in the Pacific and she was the only survivor of the crash. The other two are scientists named Hugh Evans and Jess Bright. For them, there was a nuclear bomb test that went off prematurely, and they would have been there when it exploded if their Jeep hadn't broken down. So all the members of the Suicide Squad carry on for all the others they lost in their past. Oh, you guys didn't think the story was over so soon, did you? No, inside the newly formed ice, a purple dragon crawls out, and now it really looks like a suicide mission for these four humans. This creature is labeled as the Red Wave Beast. The Suicide Squad hits this monster with sodium magnate. That's a high temperature. The monster then turns less cold and green. It's not over yet, as the monster now erases color from everything around it, thanks to it taking the chlorophyll out of everything it comes by. This creature is very weird, and that's coming from somebody who has read comics for decades. I find this creature very weird. And this is his only appearance, and I don't know if a monster like this ever shows up again in DC Comics. The monster follows the squad to a rocket ship that was going to use dummies for space travel instead of humans. Instead, the squad take it and fly into the sun, with the monster having grabbed onto the outside of the rocket. They shake off the monster above the sun, so the monster will always be stuck in the sun's orbit, but now the issue ends with the squad in space traveling back home. Two things I really liked about this story is how the rocket ship they used at the end of the story was teased earlier. The rocket was going to be tested with different types of humans, but the squad decided to just take it for themselves. Kind of reminds me of Fantastic Four's original origin story. And I wonder if anything comes from this, how it's humans who use the rocket first and not crash test dummies. Maybe they change a little bit in future. Also, I don't know if the end of the story with the squad in space by the sun, I don't know if Brave and the Bold issue 26 picks up right after that. Another thing I liked was the explanations as to why they are called the Suicide Squad. It isn't just because they're on deadly missions, but also each of the teammates are fighting to honor those who died when they lived on. Learning about each of their past is my favorite part of the story. I think there was a lot of good effort into making this monster of the issue memorable. He's basically just a dragon, but coming out of a red hot wave, which is never explained here, and how his body reacts to different chemicals. That was actually a pretty smart idea. But the most interesting parts of the story were, of course, the actual squad mates and getting to learn each other. Also, I should say, Rick Flag and Karen Grace seem to be getting a will they won't they relationship Anyway, those are my little thoughts on the first Suicide Squad comic by DC. I thank you for watching.